Yeah, just I'm live streaming. ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परा. Dear devotees, we had discussed 4 verses of the Manisha Panchakam in the last classes, in the previous classes. And if you see, the 4 Mahavakyas were discussed in the 4 shlokas, or in the 4 verses actually. So each verse is an essence of one Mahavakya, one statement, or a great statement which is culled from each Veda. So are there only 4 Mahavakyas in the entire Vedas? If you ask, no. There are quite a few number, but traditionally for remembering or for meditation and contemplation, traditionally this has been accepted, this 4 as Mahavakyas, which has been made as standard or famous, and as a result we only discuss these 4 Vakyas. Otherwise there are enough number of good amount of Mahavakyas in each Veda. Now the 5th one. So then we have got only 4 Mahavakya standard. Then what is about the 5th verse? So it is not representing any Mahavakya in particularly, but actually here 2 points has been discussed by the Adi Shankaracharya. What are the 2 points? One is Atmagnana Phala, the fruits of self-knowledge. Well, we are not supposed to expect that, but still people may have got a question. People might think, okay, what do I get by attaining self-knowledge? What is the benefit of getting self-knowledge? That has been discussed in this present verse. And not only that, and the one more point, very important and very interesting point has been discussed by Adi Shankaracharya in this verse is what? Ananda Swarupa. As we all know this, by this time, we are all Atman or Brahman inherently. Our nature is, and if you ask to explain, then we say existence, Sat, consciousness or awareness, Chit, and the bliss and absolute Ananda. So in the earlier Mahavakyas, if you see, either it is been discussed more on the Sat part of the self or the Chit part of the self. Now the Sat part of the self and Chit part of the self, they are not the attributes. They are not the qualities, rather they are the Swarupa, the nature of the Atman or the Brahman or the self. And I am that self. And the Ananda part of the Brahman has not been discussed. So probably Shankaracharya didn't get a chance to discuss. Now in this verse, so he has taken the Ananda part of the Brahman or the Atman to discuss, so that it will completely be discussed the nature of the Brahman. So Sat, Chit, Ananda are not the qualities of the self, rather they are the nature of the self. And they are not 3 different nature, it is only one. So Sat is equal to Chit is equal to Ananda. In the Upanishads, when we read deeply, we will be able to discuss these things. Okay. Now let me go to the shloka. Yatsaukhyāmbudhileśaleśata ime śakrādayo nirvṛtā Yaccitte nitarāṃ praśāntakalane labdhvā munirnirvṛtaḥ Yasminnityasukhāmbudhau galitadhīrbrahmaiva brahmavi kaścitsa surendravanditapado nūnaṃ manīṣā mama. So, as I already told, so here is discussing 2 things. One is Atmagnana Phala, the other is Ananda Swarupa. And if you see in the Brahmananda Valli or in the Taittiriya Upanishad, in the Brahmananda Valli, Ananda Mimamsa comes. Ananda Mimamsa is discussed. In the Ananda Mimamsa, what it is, for an example, a person is living 100 years. For discussion's sake, I mean, our complete life term is 100 years. Some of us will be able to make very few, and most of us, we are not. Now, a person who is living 100 years, well, he's living 100 years or he lived 100 years, but he was not very happy. He had to face a lot of struggles. He had to face a lot of problems, lot of challenges. No, the Upanishad is asking us to imagine a person who is living 100 years, who has got a good wife or husband, good children, enough wealth, enough property, and all the materialistic comforts, and good family, good materialistic comforts, and etc. He had a complete peaceful life, blissful life to the larger extent. That doesn't mean that he didn't have any problems at all. He might have, but whatever a human being is aspiring for, he has got. Such a person who lives for 100 years with complete necessary things which he got, and that ananda, the bliss which he experienced, the happiness which he experienced, if you consider it as 1 unit, say 1 unit, then if you go to Gandharva Loka, then it becomes 100 times more. Then if you go to Pitruloka, it becomes 100 times more. Then if you go to Svargaloka, where Indra and others they stay, then 100 times it gets increased. If you go above lokas more and more, ascending order, like it goes 100 times increased. And if you go to Brahmaloka, that is the highest loka, Hiranyagarbha Loka or Brahmaloka, Chaturmukha Brahmaloka, there it is the highest, you get 100 times more. But all of them you go, they're 100 times more, 100 times more, 100 times more, but still there is some limitation. Or there is an amount of calculation is possible. When you enjoy, or sorry, when you experience yourself, which is the source of immortal bliss, infinite bliss, unalloyed bliss, there is no end to it. So if you start from Manisha Loka to Brahma Loka, every times if you go 1 loka to above, 1 loka to another, 100 times gets increased. But when you experience, when I know who am I, when you experience who am I, then I'll be blissful. I will be blissful, and there is no limit for that. So this idea has been considered, discussed here. And also one more important point as a corollary for this, he also, Shankaracharya discusses Vishayananda. Now, I like chocolate or chocolate ice cream. I got chocolate ice cream. I am enjoying it. I get some sort of happiness, no doubt. I wanted to get a new mobile. Maybe Apple 17, recently it has been, I think, released. I got a 17 latest Apple iPhone. I'm so happy. And I wanted probably a Benz car or a Tesla vehicle. I'm so happy. All these things, we are so happy, but it is all limited. It is a small infinitesimal part of the bliss, which is our real nature. Then you achieve something. For example, I wanted to be Karodpati. I became. The amount of happiness has been increased. Then I wanted to be, probably I wanted to get some awards. I worked for it. I want some maybe local state awards or national award or international award. Then the amount of happiness might have been increased because it at the mental level. Then I invented something, discovered something. Again, I've been felicitated. It is at the level of intellect, my happiness gets increased. So all of them, again, from physical level to the mental level you go, the happiness gets increased. From mental level, you go to the intellect level, then the happiness might get increased. But in the spiritual level or at that conscious level, the amount of joy, the amount of bliss we enjoy, experience is unlimited. Then why to seek that joy, small percent of joy, very little joy in this world and its objects? Why can't we seek the highest happiness, highest bliss, which is my inherent nature, which is my nature? Let me seek my nature. Again, seeking should try to know, should try to understand, experience. These are limitation of the language. Here only Vedanta says, so you can't achieve anything new. Only in the case of here, achieving moksha, experiencing self means what? It is only removal of the wrong knowledge, removal of the misconception, or removal of the ignorance. Okay, now let me go to the shloka. in the first line, Yatsaukhyāmbudhileśaleśata. From just a fraction or a tiny drop of the ocean of that bliss. Ime śakrādayo nirvṛtā. Even the Indra, like the gods, gods means here small g, Indra, Varuna, Shashanka, Marut, like the Ashwini Devatas, even them, they are delighted. From which? From the tiny drop of that ocean of that bliss. Which is this ocean of that bliss? That is Atma or Brahman. From there, very tiny drop. For example, if it's a big lake or a big ocean, someone has got a tiny drop of that. Someone consumed a tiny drop of that water from the ocean. But by that itself, people are feeling so happy. Not only human beings are happy. Not only human beings are feeling happy. Even the gods and goddesses with a small g, like Indra, Varuna, Marut, Shashanka or Ashwini Devatas, even they are also enjoying it. They are also delighted. Such a beautiful it is. Such a probably a sort of positive, intoxicated in nature. Then if you are getting a one drop of it, and if you are so happy, then if you get the entire ocean, then how beautiful it is. It is not. So we should aspire for it to have a self-realization. So Yatsaukhyāmbudhileśaleśata. Leśaleśata means what? Very small drop, very tiny drop of the water. Ambudhi. So Yatsaukhyāmbudhi. So when you got an ocean, in that you got just small tiny drop of that. Ime śakrādayo nirvṛtā. Śakrādaya means Indra and other gods. Even they are delighted. They are so feeling happy. Yaccitte nitarāṃ praśāntakalane labdhvā munirnirvṛtaḥ. Now second. Okay. Now the Atman is the ocean of infinite bliss. And in our day-to-day things, in our achievements, we are getting a small drop of that immortal bliss. From that itself, we are delighted. Then obviously, a genuine person or intelligent person, he or she seeks for that entire ocean or the good amount of the water in the ocean. If you want to, okay, you are seeking it, you are aspiring for it, you are desiring for it, then how to get it? If you ask, in the second line, the Shankaracharya is showing us the way. Yaccitte nitarāṃ praśāntakalane labdhvā munirnirvṛtaḥ. Yaccitte nitarāṃ praśāntakalane. When the mind has been controlled, when the mind has been made steady, labdhvā munirnirvṛtaḥ, the sage becomes full satisfied. Muni means here Mananath Muni, means one who meditates, one who is contemplative, one whose mind is under control. He gets satisfied. Why? Because he is able to get that Atmananda or Brahmananda. That means what? So if you want Atmananda or Brahmananda, you have to study Advaita Vedanta. You have to remove the misconceptions. You have to remove the wrong understandings. No doubt. But not only that, apart from that, one has to control the mind. One has to control the sense organs. That's why Shamadamadi Shatka Sampatti is very important, which is one of the basic necessity for Vedanta as part of Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannata, 4 prerequisites. When your mind and sense organs are under control, then what happens? You will be able to fix your mind on the self and you will be able to meditate. And when you are doing for longer time, then what happens? Your ignorance is removed. You will be able to experience that bliss. So if your mind is not concentrated, if your mind is not steady, it is not possible. Shankaracharya is telling very clearly. That we can understand very well. For example, when you go to the water body, a pond or a ocean or even especially lake. Now you want to see the base of the lake. Can you see? If it is water is disturbed, if water is muddy and there are so many ripples, waves in the water, we cannot. Then what to happen? You have to wait so that the water might get still. When the water gets still, even if it is polluted, still we cannot see because of the dirt. So water has to be pure, clean, and water has to be steady. Then we can see the base. Provided you have got a light. And the dark night, the lake is clean water, and it is very stable. It is very, it is not shaky or sturdy. It is very calm, but still we cannot see the base. Why? Because there is no light. So the light reflects here Atman, or the reflected consciousness, and the mala and vikshepa is what the purities and the disturbance in the water. Until otherwise the mind gets steady and pure, we cannot experience I am that Brahman. So all our sadhana, what we are doing it, purifying our mind, purifying our mind, so that we are trying to make it perfect instrument to reflect the consciousness as it is. That is all our sadhana actually. So we are not attaining Brahmagnana really. So we only removing the ignorance, and we are only controlling the mind and purifying the mind. Just for an example, a copper or bronze vessel, we have kept it for a long time. We didn't use it. Now we have to use, but it has become black. Then what to do? Okay, take a tamarind and little salt, apply it, and keep on scrubbing on that. How much? The more time you had left, probably the more time you have to scrub it. Keep on scrubbing, keep on scrubbing, keep on scrubbing. At some point of time, all that oxide layer gets away, it becomes shiny, then it becomes fit for using and will be derive the benefits of the bronze vessel or copper vessel. So like that, we should keep on clean our mind by japa, by meditation, by studies, by good practices, by positive habits, and controlling our mind and sense organs, and involving them in the right pursuits. By doing that only, we can experience the Brahman, we can experience the God. So here sadhana also has been told by Adi Shankaracharya in the second line. So Yaccitte nitarāṃ praśāntakalane. Praśāntakalane. Kalana means actually restlessness. Praśāntakalana or chalana. Kalane means chalana. Praśāntakalane means, so restlessness has been controlled. Means mind is tranquil. It has attained the tranquility. It has attained the calmness. It is under control. So praśāntakalane, praśānta manas, Yaccitte nitarāṃ. So one who has controlled his mind, such a person, labdhvā munirnirvṛtaḥ. He has experienced that ocean of immortal bliss, and his mind is calm, quiet, and he doesn't need anything. Why? Because he has understood who is he or what is he, and is experiencing that immortal bliss. When you got the immortal bliss, you don't aspire for tiny things. When you got 100 rupees, you don't you don't aspire for 10 rupees. Already you got 100 rupees. So when you got that ocean of immortal bliss, when you are able to experience that ocean of immortal bliss, you don't aspire for tiny drops of the ocean water. Yasminnityasukhāmbudhau galitad. Here brahmaiva na brahmavid. Yasminnityasukhāmbudhau, in which is the ocean of eternal ocean of bliss. Then galitadhīhi. Galitadhīhi means Galitasta also we can see in the Shastra say, means galitadhīhi here is one whose intellect or ego has been dissolved. The pseudo-individuality. All of us, we have got individualities, pseudo-individualities. Or Sri Ramakrishna says that we have got unripened ego. When the unripened ego has been converted into ripened ego, or the pseudo-intellect, the pseudo-ego or the pseudo-individuality has been dissolved. Where? In the ocean of bliss. Sri Ramakrishna gives again beautiful example here. A salt doll went to measure the depth of the ocean. When the salt doll went into the ocean, in no time it got dissolved. Now who is there to say for us what is the depth of the ocean in general outside? So similarly, when our pseudo-individuality is being dissolved, where? In the ocean of bliss. Yasminnityasukhāmbudhau. In the eternal ocean of bliss, galitadhīhi, whose intellect or whose individuality has been dissolved, one who has lost the individuality, brahmaiva na brahmavit. He becomes Brahman, brahmaeva na brahmavit. Brahmavit means here one who knows about the Brahman. Oh, I know about the Brahman. What is Brahman? Oh, it is Satchidananda, existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute. It is the subject, not the object. Okay, any other details? Okay, so body is not the self. Mind is not the self. Thoughts are not the self. Feelings and ego is not the self. This whole world is not the self. And I am that indestructible, eternal self. and I am the subject, never the object. And I cannot be destroyed by weapons. I cannot be dried by air. I cannot be wet by water. I cannot be roasted by fire. I am that self. I know that, but I am not able to experience it. Why? Because of the impurities of the mind. So in that angle, Brahmaviti can become. He has studied Upanishads, but he knows Brahmavita, but he has not experienced. So here he is telling Adi Shankaracharya, na Brahmavita Brahmaiva bhavati. Is not merely a knower of Brahman. Intellectual knowing here means, because many times when he says that when Brahmavid Brahmaiva bhavati, in the Taittiriya Upanishad, Brahmavid Brahmaiva bhavati, when you know the Brahman, you will become Brahman. There means you are experiencing that I am the self. So here na Brahmavit means one who knows the Brahman intellectually, but it is not only this, Brahmaiva, he becomes Brahman. Again, he becomes Brahman means what? He experiences that I am that Brahman. For an example, there is a wall, or there is a paper, or there is a layer which is making me to, which is stopping me to, which is obstructing me to see the things, whatever it is other side. When you remove that obstruction, then you'll be able to see the things which was on the other side clearly. Now that obstruction was what? Ignorance, which has covered my mind. When that ignorance has been removed, then what happens? I am able to experience I am that Brahman. Existence, consciousness, bliss absolute. So na Brahmavit Brahmaiva bhavati. So it is not that he or she becomes knower of Brahman, he or she becomes Brahman itself. Means he or she experiences the Brahman. Then yaha kaścitsa surendravanditapado pada. Whoever he may be Brahmin, he may be Shudra, he may be poor, he may be rich, he may be black, he may be white. He may have got any social status, economical status, whatever so may be, but even surendravanditapado. Even Surendra means what? Indra. Surasya Indra, the head of the Suras, the head of the Devatas, that is Indra. Even Indra worship such knower of Brahman. We hear so many stories. The Rishis has been worshipped with a great respect by even Devatas, even Trimurtis also. Why? Because of their knowledge, because of their tapas. So Surendravanditapado, the person who has experienced I am that Brahman, even Surendra, means that is even Indra worships his feet. Means he is adorable even by worship. He is adorable by even Indra. If so, then what to speak of me? I am also okay. Means nūnaṃ manīṣā mama. Nūnaṃ means surely, manīṣā mama, this is my conviction. Even a person may be Chandala, because it all started with the Chandala story, if you remember my first class. So if even he may be a Chandala, born as a Chandala, his body belongs to that caste or lineage or whatever. If he's a realized person, I don't mind to worship him. I don't mind to accept him as my guru or whatever. So this is what the overall meaning. So I am that bliss, and I am trying to search that bliss here and there. When we are children, we search in the dolls, we search in the toys, we search in the small chocolates. Then when we grow, we try to search that Ananda in the bicycle, motorcycle. Then when we grow, we try to search that Ananda in the four-wheelers, or in the opposite sex, or in some other things. Some other, they try to see that Ananda in the name and fame, power and position, or whatever. So actually, the real Ananda is in me, but I am searching that Ananda externally in the things. I am searching, and at some point of time, I will get a maturity. I will get an understanding that all of these things, the world and its objects, definitely, some of them are necessary for my existence, of body and mind, no doubt. But the real Ananda is none of them. Then where is the real Ananda? The real Ananda is in me only, but unfortunately, I am searching for outside. In Kabir Doha, there is a beautiful thing. Kasturi mruga dhundata vanamai. Kasturi mruga, the male deer, has got the scent in its own stomach. But unfortunately, it is able to understand. There is a good fragrance coming, but it unable to understand that it is from its own body. It searches the entire forest, and many times it dies in searching. It is a vain search. So similarly, we are also searching for the happiness outside. We are gone searching. We might get happiness as tiny ocean, a tiny drop of ocean. From that, many times we get carried over. But slowly we will understand that it's all limited. Then when the Viveka gets awakened, the discrimination, the what is the real, what is unreal, what is Nitya and what is Anitya, etc. Then slowly we'll start going inside. And when we get inside, who am I, what I am, and what is my real nature? And when we start doing spiritual practices and this contemplation, the moment when I understand who am I, the ignorance is removed, then I am the source of infinite bliss. I am the source of immortal bliss. So this is all our Vedanta journey is what? To retracing the steps back, or rather dehypnotization. We have been hypnotized as body-mind complex. We have to dehypnotize it. For that, I have to keep on thinking I am the self, not the body and mind, not this ego, not to speak of actions, my thoughts or my objects and world and its objects and etc. The more and more it becomes confirmed, the more and more it becomes convinced in our life, then what happens? We will travel from what to so what. I'll be happy, I'll be enjoying, I will be doing my work, no doubt, but I will not get carried over. That's why we need Vedanta, so that I can be a real human being, better human being, in spite of all these challenges. So may Sri Ramakrishna, Adi Shankaracharya bless all of us, so that we shall remember this Vedantic, the sublime truths time and again in our every moment of life, and we shall try to remember and we shall try to manifest it, we shall try to practice it, so that we will experience who am I and we will get rid of this bondage. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Yeah, if you get any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Guruji, namaskara. Guruji, a question on Guruji, this question or maybe or re-asking the statement, the lines that you mentioned regarding the brahmavi, brahmaiva, that phrase, Guruji. I mean, that was very quick. I apologize, asking again. Can you request that phrase to be explained a bit? You mentioned that knowing the Brahmajnana is different
the
than
third line you mean to say. Third line you wanted.
Experiencing the Brahmajnana. Yeah. Just a phrase, Guruji. I understand
Brahmaiva bhavati. You mean to say, is it?
Okay. Thank you.
Now you want just Brahmavid Brahmaiva bhavati you want, or the entire third line you want?
Guruji, you mentioned another one. Na Brahmavid, na, and you mentioned after that something else.
Okay.
I understood the meaning, Guruji. The meaning was
Yasminnityasukhāmbudhau. Okay. Brahmavid Brahmaiva bhavati. Let me explain, then let us see. Okay. So Brahmavid Brahmaiva bhavati. Na Brahmavid Brahmaiva bhavati. So Adi Shankaracharya is telling here, na Brahmavid. You will not become just the knower of Brahman. Rather, Brahmaiva bhavati, you will become the Brahman. So what is the difference between this? Now, you know what is electricity, for an example. You are interested in electricity, you try to know the electricity, and you know the Ohm's law, and you have you have got a lot of information, lot of knowledge about the electricity. And you are one of the person in India who knows a good amount of knowledge about electricity. But by knowing electricity, you can't be electricity, or you will not be electricity. So similarly, for example, about a fish. So you are a zoologist. In the zoology, you have taken the fish as your special study or area of interest, and you have studied a lot about the fish. There are so many types of fishes, and there are as part of phylum, and there is what is their lifestyle, what is their life cycle, what about their food habits, weather, and whatnot. Some are reptiles, some are mammals, and all things you know. But by knowing the fish, you are not going to become a fish. You will be always You are a human being only, but you have got a knowledge of the fish, which can be useful now. So similarly, people can study the Upanishads. People can study Vedanta, as people can study philosophy, and they're very good at it. You ask any shloka, you ask any mantra, you ask any Upanishad, at any given point of time, they'll be able to explain beautifully. In such a scholastic way, such a beautiful way, my goodness, we are all astonished, we are all carried over by their scholar nature. But when it comes to the practice, when it comes to in the day-to-day life, they may not be able to put that Vedantic knowledge into practice. Their mind is agitated by small things. They are very egoistic. They are very mean-minded, small-mindedness. All these things we can see with quite a few people. That means they are knower of Brahmans. Means they have the intellectual knowledge about what is Brahman, but they are not able to put into practice. So here, whose mind is under control, whose mind is under tranquility, whose mind is calm, and who is able to experience and who is able to understand this Vedantic knowledge, then what happens? He na brahmaved brahmaiva bhavati. Or one whose pseudo-individuality or this ego, pseudo-ego has been dissolved in that Brahman, then what happens? Such a person, na brahmaved brahmaiva bhavati, whose pseudo-individuality has been disappeared. It is not that he has become the knower of Brahman, rather he has become Brahman. He has become Brahman means what? He is experiencing that I am that Brahman. He is experiencing that bliss here, Ananda. I am Ananda Swarupi. Mama Swarupa Anandam. Oh, my nature is what? Ananda, blissful. How much ever you know about the fish, you can't become fish. How much ever you know about electricity, you can't be electricity. But in the Atmagnana case, it is completely different. The more and more you know about the Brahman, the more and more you practice, then the ignorance is removed, then the divinity is manifested. The Atman is manifested, the Brahman is manifested in you through your life, through your actions, through your thoughts, through your every moment in life. That is the beauty of Vedanta. So brahmaiva bhavati, not brahmavid. You are not the mere knower of Brahman, rather you become Brahman. Means you will experience that unalloyed bliss, immortal bliss. Ahamapi Brahman. I am that Brahman whose nature is existence, consciousness, bliss absolute. For I think Sri Ramakrishna gives also one more beautiful example that he asks one Swami Vivekananda. If you consider Sachidananda as a ocean, what do you do? Then as a young Naren, Swami Vivekananda says, I am like a bee or a fly. I go and at the brim I sit and I try to sip the water. Then Sri Ramakrishna asks, why you want to sip the water at the brim, at the periphery? Why don't you get into that? Then Swami Vivekananda says, oh, if I get into that, I may die. As a fly, if it gets into water, it can die, isn't it? So similarly, Swami Vivekananda is saying, as a young Naren, I may die. Then Sri Ramakrishna laughs, oh, it is the ocean of immortal bliss. You are not dying, rather you will be immortal. So that's where Swami Vivekananda was worried that I may die. So that I am fearing about the losing of individuality, pseudo-individuality. But Sri Ramakrishna corrects him, saying that when you get merged, when you get dipped, when you get drowned, even you can say, in this Sachidananda Sagara, you will not die, my dear. You will become immortal. You will experience that immortality. You will experience that Anand. So that is what Brahma, not Brahmaved, Brahmaiva Bhavati.
Swamiji, the stanza that you start with, the prayer that you start before this, what is the meaning of that?
Oh, okay. This is the Pranama Mantra. Sadashiva Samaramba. Shankaracharya Madhyama. Shankaracharya Madhyama. Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parampara. So this is remembering the lineage. Now, Sadashiva Samarambham. Samyak Arambam. So this lineage, whatever the Vedantic teaching I am trying to understand, I am trying to teach, it is not mine. I don't have any copyright actually. Why? It comes from my Guru. I have been imparted these teachings from my Guru. Oh, who did he get? From where did he get? He got from his Guru. He got from his Guru, like that. So, but it started from where? Sadashiva Samarambham. Samyak Arambha. It was a good beginning. At the beginning, so Sadashiva, Lord Sadashiva gave this knowledge, imparted this knowledge to the humanity or to a Rishi, for example. So he imparted to X Rishi or Y Rishi. Then Shankaracharya Madhyamam. So in that Guru Parampara, in between, somewhere, in between means not exactly in the middle, Madhyamam means in the middle, somewhere, Adi Shankaracharya comes into picture. So means he also imparts this. And Asmadacharya Panyanta. And I got my immediate Guru, whom I learned Upanishads, under whom I am learning this, the Vedantic things. Asmadacharya Paryanta. Asmad Acharya, my Guru, Paryantam, till then. So starting from Sadashiva, Lord Shiva, and in middle Shankaracharya, until my Guru, who taught me, who imparted me this knowledge, Vande Guru Paramparam. Vande, my salutations to Guru Paramparam, that is to the lineage. So I am, my salutations to the lineage of the Gurus, starting from Sadashiva, that is Shiva, and Shankaracharya, and my Guru, the immediate Guru under whom I am learning the Upanishad, I am learning the Vedanta. To all of them, my salutations. I mean, showing our respect and remembering them, thanksgiving them. Because of them, I got this knowledge, which is beautiful. Out of compassion, they taught me. That's the reason my salutations to them. And in the Vaishnavas, like Vishishtadvaitins and the Advaitins, they say in Sadashiva Samarambha, they bring Keshava there. They bring Vishnu actually. Instead of Shiva, they bring Keshava there. And maybe instead of Shankaracharya, they will take Ramanacharya, Madhvacharya, or Vedanta Deshikar. In their own lineage, whatever is there, they bring that actually. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all the questions are supposed. Yeah, you got anything, Samit?
No, Swamiji. We
Okay.
can, so next
Swamiji.
class we'll pick up.
Swamiji and Pushpa, I have one doubt, and with due respect to you, I want you to clarify. That is regarding consciousness and pure consciousness. Consciousness is the theoretical part that we study about the knowledge part, and pure consciousness, is it the practical part or the first person experience?
Yeah, I mean, just we use the word pure consciousness, pure awareness and all. So contextually, when you say pure consciousness, pure awareness, that means it is just experienced. So consciousness and pure consciousness, is there an impure consciousness? No, there is no impure consciousness. Conscious can never be impure. Just to give the stress, like when you say unalloyed bliss, just to give the stress on these things, pure awareness, pure consciousness, unalloyed bliss or pure bliss, all these words we use to give an stress, that's all. So there is no difference between consciousness and pure consciousness, because consciousness can never be impure actually.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Swamiji.
And there's only one awareness or one consciousness, and which is always pure. It can never be impure, because it is the subject, it is never the object.
Okay, thank you, Swamiji. But one more doubt I have, that is, I was going through the Western philosophical, oh, sorry, somebody's questioning?
No, ma'am, after you, please.
Yeah, so I was reading a book by a Western philosopher, Eckhart Tolle, whatever it is, and he, the power of mind, power of now. And in that, he was telling that pure consciousness is presence. So, is that correct?
Pure consciousness
is presence, Presence.
Yeah, it is a different way of explanation or different way of putting things. So when you say consciousness, awareness, existence, bliss, it is all synonyms actually. So your existence, Sat, Chit, Ananda, when we say, as already I think I was discussing today, they're not the three nature of the Atman. That is one and the same. So there is no difference between Sat, there is no difference between Chit, and there is no difference between Ananda. All the three are one and the same. So we are using different terms, that's all. So if that is when Sat is equal to Chit is equal to Ananda, when if you take it, then awareness can be just a presence. Their presence is what actually, it is an awareness actually. Mere presence, how it is being experienced with awareness only actually. So it is been used in a different language, and that's what I understand by your statement, I suppose.
Okay, Swamiji, thank you so much. Thank you.
Maharaj, do we have 1 more minute or 2 more minutes?
Yeah, go ahead.
Maharaj, the only question I wanted to ask Maharaj, regarding the the mantra japa, I heard in one of the other Maharajas video, there was a mention that if you want to say that, reach to that state, you should start the mantra japa starting from sunset, and you have to continue till sunrise to sunset. Maharaj, ಅದು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮಂತ್ರ ಜಪ, when we are uttering that mantra, so physically the physical parts involved here is obviously the sound. The background process ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ನಾವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು? ಈಗ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಎಮೋಷನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಗುರುಜಿ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, some of the in the brain, if some type of fluids release, you'll tend to follow this kind of an emotion. Atara. Ade, if you're getting that highest concentration, on 45 minutes ಧ್ಯಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಮೇಲೆ, ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಈಗ ಸನ್ರೈಸ್ ಇಂದ ಸನ್ಸೆಟ್ ತನಕ ಮಂತ್ರ ಜಪ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ, ಆ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಹಿಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸೂಪರ್ ಕಾನ್ಶಿಯಸ್ ಟಚ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಆ ಪಾದರಸನ ಬಂದು ಅದ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಗುರುಜಿ? ಇದು ತುಂಬಾ we are unable to connect to very often. The gap ತುಂಬಾ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ 2 weeks ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
I think you will not bother about all those things. What I suggest you, Karthik, is that right now we have to do japa. Okay, I don't know whether have you taken any initiation or whatever. If you have taken initiation, your guru might have given the instructions for you how to meditate, what are the steps to be followed, and in what bhava, in what mood one can worship the God, one can meditate on the God. That has been told by your guru, will be during your initiation times. So I always ask you to go ahead as a safe practice. Then once you further go in your spiritual life, when you get well established, then you can make some add-on features. You can add few more spiritual practices, different type of meditation. Sometimes may be used for practicing, but always the basic thing should be, the central point of your sadhana should be the way your guru has taught. That has to be followed there, first point. Then the more and more you get concentrated, then what happens? You will start experiencing the presence of your Ishtadevata, chosen deity. Say for an example, your Ishtadevata is Shiva. You are meditating on the Shiva. On the Shiva, maybe on the Shivalinga maybe, or on the Shiva who is in the Kailasavasi, who is sitting in the Himalayas, with the Vyagra Charmambharadhara, with the Trishuladhara, Dhamaru, Chandra Kaladhara, all these things, Ganga Jatadhara, whatever we gave this information. So you are meditating on the Shiva's form. Then you are meditating. Now, initially what happens? If you say 30-40 minutes you meditate, you may be doing the Shiva Panchakshari mantra, Om Namah Shivaya mantra japa, but hardly you might have been concentrated. You might think so many things. You might think about people, you might think about the situations, what happened. You might be thinking about the problems, or about your work, or about your family people, or something else. Then slowly you are understanding this, you are trying to control your mind and all. So slowly what happens? You are able to do your japa and you are able to feel the presence. If your japa and meditation gets intensified, then you will start feeling the presence of the Lord in your heart. Then when it gets further more intensified, you will be able to see the Lord or your Ishtadevata, chosen deity, in really living form. Now, till now, it was an imagination. I was trying to imagine that there is a Shiva in my heart. I am trying to meditate. It was an imagination, but when it further gets intensified with spiritual practice, with concentration, you will be able to experience the presence of the Lord. You'll be able to see that Lord Shiva is sitting in front of you, or you are sitting in front of Lord Shiva. You are able to experience. Then you will get more and more peace. You will get more and more calmness. Then distractions, diversions will be reducing. You will feel more and more happy and blissful. You don't seek too many things for outside. Your external dependency gets reduced. Your dependency on God gets increased. That's a way of spirituality, way of spiritual progress, actually. So your dependency on God and that Bhajanananda or Japananda, Dhyanananda, we say that the bliss which we get from the meditation gets increased. Then we seek that. We don't seek for anything else. Then once we experience that I am the Lord or whatever, then our life is going to end. That's all. So by that, there are so many experiments has been done. By that, gray matter gets increased. So some part of our brains gets activated more and more. So things may get better, and our understanding about the world, understanding about the people, understanding about oneself, it gets better. And if you are really got apt in meditation, in Vibhuti-pada, in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, there are so many siddhis has been discussed. You may get some special powers. You can understand things very fast. You can pierce into the subject and you can understand things. Intuitive knowledge you may get. Or when you are talking with people, you might understand them. Who are they? What are they? Whether they are really genuine or not. So like that, some special powers one may get it. But we should not bother about all these things. We should only bother about the concentration. We should be bother about the developing the love, developing the surrendering attitude towards the God. And we should develop more and more as much as possible, keeping our lifestyle and work and other commitments. We should try to develop. We should try to spend more and more time in Japan meditation. That's what we should concentrate. Whether the padarasa is getting in the mind or not, all these things, I don't think we should give much importance to all of them. That is what my opinion.
Thank you, Guruji. Flowers to you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, wish you all happy Shubha Navaratri. May Divine Mother bless all of us, and may our life be filled with a bliss, happiness, and peace. And may our Vedantic journey go further more and more. Thank you. So next class we shall start discussing Kathopanishad.
Dhanyavad Swamiji.
Thank you so much.
Nice class.
Wish you the same. Happy Navratri to you.
Thank you, Swamiji. Wish you also a happy Navratri.
Jai Ram Krishna Maharaj.
Okay.